Hi all, this is Skate, and in this one I want to talk about crates, and I'm going to try and keep it on point, because otherwise, on this topic, we could end up down the rabbit hole, and well, I could end up making an entire series or an hour-long video on this topic, so I'm going to try and keep it short, while still trying to cover in as many bases as I can. So, crates. In mobile games, they're not a new thing, and they have been surrounded by a lot of controversy. And they're sadly not something we're going to see the end of for a long time. We won't see the end of them quite simply because they make gaming companies so much money, and quite frankly, we as gamers are addicted to them. But I think it's fair to say that some game companies have taken crates to a new level of wrong, in my opinion. So in this video, I want to cover a few simple questions. Why do they do it? Why do we do it? And how do they get away with it? But before we do progress any further on this topic, I want to say that as a gamer, I am more than happy to spend my disposable income within a game I enjoy and support. It supports developers and gives me access to some pretty cool stuff. Well, in some cases it does anyway. Right then, crates. Historically, they've always been classed as and referred to as microtransactions. These transactions cost small, regular sums of money, yeah? Take, for example, a AAA game. It costs, say, £50 or $50 or somewhere around that in different currencies. And you'll get microtransactions costing smaller values. What I want to focus on, though, is mobile games, specifically the free-to-play, that get their only source of income from these sorts of transactions. But what happens when these microtransactions are no longer micro? Take, for example, World of Tanks Blitz. The most recent example is 6 crates for £50, each one giving you a 2% chance at that almighty T22 Tier 10 medium tank. 50 quid! That is by no means. And who in their right mind would try and deem that as a microtransaction? It's literally a joke of a price. It's the same price as one AAA game. Yet so many of us still have a go. And we still have a go every bloody month. You're effectively paying for a AAA game every month. For one game, just for one tank. No, it's not even for one tank. It's a 2% chance at one tank. On the screen, by the way, are screenshots of what I got from my 10 T22 crates. Did I get the tank? No. 10 crates, costing a total of around £70 as bundles. Obviously, I got the bundle prices, exactly as they predict you will, which is why they offer bundle prices to entice us in further. So did I at least get good prizes or value for my £70? No, I did not. Rather than put into these crates good reconciliation prizes, good runner-up prizes, we're provided with stocking fillers, things that they intentionally put a high value on just to attempt to justify the astronomical price on these crates. So, am I left feeling content with my winnings? Absolutely not. Would I have been happy if I won the T22? Probably, yeah, depending on how much I sunk in to try and get the tank. Would I have been happy if I at least got good stuff from my crates, though? Yeah, probably. But this feeling of distaste I get from spending in-game on crates, I only really get to this level in one game, and that game is Blitz. Which bugs me even further, as Blitz, well, in terms of gameplay, is my favourite game. The game is, in my opinion, the gameplay anyway, is phenomenal. Yet, they take the pull your pants down approach to this further content, which in my opinion is a bit of a joke. So, why do we still tolerate this blatant abuse, and why do we still spend on these stupid things? Why do we do it? The answer is actually pretty simple. We are literally programmed to get gratification from crates. Not from receiving the main prize, but rather from the simple task of opening the crates. The anticipation of, ooh, what's in the box? The wonder of what's going to come out of that box. It's the same reason you see so many YouTubers do crate opening videos or loot box videos. It's the same reason my 3-year-old daughter enjoys watching some other kid open a Kinder Egg. Right, this topic could be talked about for hours, so I'm going to keep this part real short. In 1948, there was a Harvard psychologist by the name of Skinner, and he discovered what we now basically look at as crates or loot boxes, and that they give a triggered psychological addiction to certain behaviours. Basically, Skinner ran a series of experiments on rats in an operative conditioning chamber, which is now referred to as Skinner's box. He placed the rats in a box with a lever. When pressed, the lever would give out food. At first, the rats accidentally pressed the lever, but they eventually learned that by pressing the lever every time as soon as they were put in the box, they would get food, and they became trained and conditioned to this behaviour. Now, what Skinner then found out was that if he randomised the amount of food which came out when they pressed the lever, it made this addictive effect much more dramatic. These rats began to press the lever even when they hadn't received food the last time. They pressed the lever hundreds of times without receiving food, hoping to receive food once more. They literally became addicted to pressing the lever beyond all logic and reason. Now, there have been numerous neurological studies that have found that games have this similar effect of addictive behaviour by manipulating a person's rewards. Mechanics like loot boxes reinforce this behaviour in a very, very similar manner because it's psychologically addictive. Or to put it bluntly, it's psychological manipulation. So why do they do it? Obviously, the short answer is revenue. World of Tanks Blitz are not the only company to use loot crates, whatever you want to call them. I just personally feel they kind of take it to an extreme. But there are many other games that use these sorts of things, huge amounts. PUBG, Fortnite, CSR Racing, Clash Royale, and so many others who have so many variations on the loot box. I want to give some quick examples from other games. This is CSR2. It's a racing game, and their entire system is built around crates as well. But there is a fundamental difference. You can earn and purchase the keys you require to open crates. So the short explanation is there's 3 levels of keys available in this game: bronze, silver and gold. The higher the key, the harder it is to obtain free. But if a new car comes into the game, 90% of the time it has a price tag on it. Sounds good, right? Well, yes and no. You can get the new car for potentially a reasonable price, but if you want to upgrade it, you need to get upgrades. And how do you get upgrades? Crates. Now, you're not guaranteed to get the part you need from the upgraded crate. Thus, you'll have a chance to upgrade it fully. So welcome back into Skinner's box. Now, most of the time you can use the free keys you accrue to get parts you need for certain cars. Sometimes for new cars into the games, they'll cost a few pound each for each crate. Yet in the vast majority of cases, guys, I was always happy with what I was given. Maybe this is because I've already been conditioned to the Blitz economy, and this one is nowhere near as pricey, or maybe it's just not as horrific. But obviously, to make us come back, they do need to give us some negative results. Otherwise, we wouldn't keep buying them. As a quick side note, by the way, every crate you see me opening in this video was done from free earned keys. And back when I played this game daily, I could do this sort of level of opening every single month. Now, when I did play this game often, I would top up my gold keys to get an extra unlock when, again, special offers or keys popped up. So although I did get keys for free, you would want to spend a little bit to top them up to give you a couple more unlocks. Another crate example I want to give is Clash Royale. Now, this game, in my eyes, has the crate system and the addictive tributes nearly spot on. Everything you do, it gives you a crate. Win a game, crate. Daily reward, crate. Special event on, crate. Spend any money, you get a crate. But there's a lot of crates in that sentence. But I also think it's one of the fairest crate systems out there. simply because they are always topping up the levels of different troops I have in this game. Oh, and you can trade them with other members of a clan if you don't want the one you've got from your crate. They do also do a season pass, which gives you, yep, you guessed it, more crates. But they also give you extra strikes. So if you don't get the results you want from crates, or you're not overly happy, you just hit these strikes and it'll refresh what you unlocked from the crate to give you a better chance at something you did want. I don't want to go into huge depth on this, but you can probably see from the footage, it's pretty obvious and transparent what you get from crates before you open them. It gives you an idea of what sort of cards are in there, basically. It's also pretty fair, and for this season pass, which gives you access to a lot more valuable crates, I paid £5. Not £5 per crate, £5 for the entire season pass per month. If I want to spend on a crate, like a big fancy crate for say £10, I'm literally guaranteed something special, so you are never left disappointed. That's quite a comparative between £10 or £5 for an entire season with guaranteed stuff, or £50 for a 2% chance on certain things. But you are never left feeling disappointed with this. And honestly, I'm absolutely fine with this sort of crate system in a game. And honestly, Clash Royale is the only game I will let my 6-year-old son get crates from with actual money. So there's two very quick examples of different type of crate structures in a game. I've really skimmed over them, so if you want to know more about them, go play the game and just have a look at their crate system in a bit more depth, because I've probably done a really slapdash way of explaining it. But there are still games out there, by the way, guys, without any crate system whatsoever. One game I am heavily addicted to is Clash of Clans. Now, I play this game just as much as I play Blitz. Now, for those who don't know, Clash of Clans is also made by Supercell, like Clash Royale is, but Clash of Clans, 0 crates whatsoever. And I love it. And without fail, I will buy a season pass in this game every single month. Because for £5, it's well worth it, hands down, without fail. Now, there are many, many reasons this game does not need or do crates. The reasons being from the size of their player base, marginally the moral compass, and many, many more reasons. Now that will take far too long to discuss in this video. If you're interested, I'm more than happy to make a comparative or a video discussing that actual topic in a lot more depth. So at the start I raised those 3 questions. Why do we do it? Why do they do it? And how do they get away with it? And in regards to how they get away with it, the short answer is, it's not illegal. And although we put it on the line of gambling, it's not legally gambling. And in many respects, loot crates and crates are not always a bad thing either. It keeps us engaged in a game developers want us to be engaged on and be hooked on. Take the Clash Royale system we just discussed as a casing point for it not always being a bad thing. So why do I personally have such a chip on my shoulder when it comes to Blitz crates? Well, that's pretty simple as well. In my eyes, Blitz is the closest you can get to gambling without gambling. To keep this part short and to the point, and to put it simply, gambling simply involves all or nothing. You win or you don't. You get nothing if you lose when you gamble. In crates, you always get something for your money. So it's technically not defined as gambling for that reason. Because if you gamble on a lottery, you win or you don't. End of story. With crates, you always get something, you just don't know what. And in a lot of games, it's still worth the value of the crate. But here's where we get into the Blitz topic. And what my problem is, even though it's legal. Simply put, it crosses so many moral boundaries. Or, put another way, you've got to have a couple of moral screws loose to milk something this much. Because, as we've already said, with crates, you always get something for your money, right? But what if the things you get instead of the main prize are absolutely worthless in every way, but have been given an obviously overinflated value to justify it as the value of the crate. And the sad reality is who are we to argue it's not worth that? Everything we win is virtual in-game content. Game company and developers can stick whatever price on it they want, even if, as a player base, we know it's obviously insane. Take, for example, Blitz boosters. They give you very minimal gain per game, yet are given this high currency value. Why? Because they fill the list of stuff in crates massively. Free XP is another crazy example. They place this huge value on getting these free XP certificates, especially these 2,300 free XP certificates. But in reality, are you real? Right, let's break down the value of that 2,300 free XP certificate. In reality, from a gamer's perspective, from our player-based perspective, you get 2,300 XP quite comfortably from playing a tank with ×2. Or let's say it takes you 2 battles. It's only 2 battles. And that's fairly easy to get 2,300 XP. Do you know how much it will cost you in gold to convert 2,300 elite XP into free XP? 92 gold. 92. 250 gold in Blitz, by the way, will cost you 99p. In other words, you can get 6,250 free XP for less than £1 worth of gold. So why is free XP valued so high? And it's for the same reason I mentioned as the boosters. They're stocking fillers. I mean, come on. 2,300 XP will cost you 92 gold to convert. Yet in a crate which costs you £10, you get 2,300 free XP, as if that's... No, it's... The stuff you get from Blitz crates feels, in my opinion, like an insult if you don't get the tank. And that is why, in my eyes, it is the closest you can get to gambling, because you either win the 2% with the tank, or in 98% of cases, you get mostly useless, overinflated fillers which feel like nothing. It's the closest you can get to gambling in terms of winning or feeling like you have totally wasted your money. And that's a giant shame for a lot of people, because, as we've already discussed, Blitz is an amazing game in terms of gameplay, but this very aggressive approach to crates is sadly for a lot of players overshadowing the most important part of the game, the actual game. And I think that is probably the perfect note to try and cut this video off. Otherwise, we're going way down to this rabbit hole. I can make another video discussing certain areas of this in more depth. I've tried to skim as much as I can on certain topics and try and get the point across at the same time to try and keep it under 20 minutes. If you would like me to cover another area of this in more depth or provide more clarity on a certain area, because I've probably mashed some area of it up a bit too much, let me know in the comments, and I'm quite happy to make another one on this one. But for now, I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.